Hi, my name is Audrey Lolita Terry, and I'm coming in out of Austin, Texas. I'm coming on because I would like to share a testimony with you guys that an incident that happened to me back in 2016 of April. I lost my grandmother to liver cancer, and behind that, my oldest daughter took it hard. She had a nervous breakdown and wind up in the crisis institution, and they were treating her. They kept her for almost a year. And I got a phone call at work one day. Um, they told me to come get her. They had done did everything that they could do for her. And when I went to get her, I couldn't believe that was happening to me. When I went to go get her, I looked in her eyes. And you know, your eyes is just the window to your soul. And when I looked in her eyes, it's like I was looking through an empty window. I had never experienced nothing like that in my life. And I still couldn't believe it. I remember putting her in the car. And when I put her in the car, she was really quiet. And when we hit the highway and I got on the highway, she just started banging on the doors. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. You guys, I didn't know what to do. I remember pulling over to the side of the road, just terrified, scared to death that she was going to jump out on the highway. I had never experienced nothing like this in my life. And I pulled over and got out the car to put the child safety lock on. And I had to try to calm her down and talk her through it. And we drove and I got home. When I got home, I remember getting in, going to my bedroom and just really just laying before God. I knew that the situation that we were in was bigger than us and I couldn't do it by myself. I had never in my life experienced anything like that. Mind you, the person that raised me, that I depended on a lot, was my grandmother, and she was gone. I no longer had that. And I remember going to God and telling God, Lord, I need you. I can't do this without you. This is much bigger than me. Lord, let that mind that is in you be in my baby also. Father, I need you to stabilize her mind, God. Lord, I know what the doctor said. They said that she will never be in her right mind. They said that she will never be able to be left alone. She will never live a normal life. They said that she will never work again. She will be on medication for the rest of her life. And I remember going to God and I say, Lord, you got the last say so. And the Holy Spirit came to me, you guys, and told me to go on a 21-day fast. And I went on that 21-day fast. And it looked like the harder I prayed, looked like the worse she was getting. I meditated before God day and night. And I stayed before God in the Word. And I kept praying. I kept praying. Lord, let that mind that's in you, Father, be in her also. Stabilize my baby mind, because you see a double-minded person. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Father, I need you to stabilize her mind, God. It don't matter what the doctors say, Lord. You got the last say so. And you guys, I just continue to pray. Just continue to stay before God. And I remember going to work and I would go on my lunch break and I would just meditate before God and just talk to him. And it just looked like she was just getting worse and worse. And she would bang on doors, let me out of here. And it was so bad. I would lock my room door with my own child in the house because she wasn't in her right mind. I was afraid that I would go to sleep and, something would happen to me, because it was like a spirit had done took full-fledged control over my baby. And I remember as it got close, I was taking her to the hospital, and they'll send her back home and say it was nothing they could do for her. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm gonna lose my mind, God. Please help me, Father. This is too much for me. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have any help. I'm trying to do this alone. I don't have any family here helping me. It was just me and her. My son was living in another state, and it was just me and her. And I remember crying out to God and coming to the end of my fast. I was on a Daniel fast, fruits and vegetables, water, 100% juice, and nothing else. Have you ever been in a desperate place when you was desperate for God to move? where you wanted him to move. You needed him to move. You had nowhere else to turn. I had nowhere else to turn but to God. I say, Lord, no other help I know. If you turn away from me, I know no other help, God. You all I know, Jesus. I need you to move, God, like never before. If I ain't never needed you before, Lord, I need you now, Jesus. I need you to move, God. And I remember her getting worse, banging on doors and just getting worse. And the last week, I remember sitting on my bed, coming to the end of the fast, and I remember crying. You ever been in a place where you done did all you could do? You just felt like you done did everything you could do, praying, fasting, and you don't know what else to do. That's how I felt. I didn't know what else to do. And I remember sitting there in the bed and the enemy came to me. He said, look at you. You wasted your time. You might as well have been eating. Look at her. She ain't getting no better. And I remember tears running down my face. I remember my heart felt like it had been shattered. I felt abandoned. And I was just speechless. I couldn't say anything. Tears was just rolling down my face because I had done did everything I knew how to do. And I remember my baby walked to the room door and she said, Mama, what are you doing? Ye of little faith. Let not your heart be troubled. For he that believeth in God, believeth also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If there were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And when I go and prepare this place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. You guys, she recited John 14. And when I looked up and looked in her eyes, I saw that God had restored my baby mind. You guys, I just began to worship and just give God the glory and the honor because he is so worthy. I just want somebody to know that God is real. The doctor had no explanation, you guys. They said that it was a miracle. They had no explanation, but I had one. It was Jesus that came to my rescue. He heard my cry. He heard my cry when I had nowhere else to turn to. I'm here to speak to somebody right now, somebody that may be going through and just feel like they're at the end, nowhere to turn, that don't have any family to run to. I'm here to tell you, run to Jesus, okay? Run to Jesus. He is so real. I know a lot of you guys have turned away from your faith because of what uncertain times and things that we're going through right now. But I'm here to tell you, turn back because he's real. He lived and he sit high and he look low and he hold all powers in his hands and he is in control. And I'm here to tell you that he hear your prayer late in the midnight hour when nobody else hears. He see your tears when nobody else see. He saw and he heard me, guys. He heard me and he came through. And let me tell you something. I fell before him and I began to worship. Right now, today, my baby is working. She's a manager. She just got promoted. She got her own place. She's in ministry. She's worshiping the Lord and she's in college and she have her own business. You can't tell me that the God I serve ain't real. He is real. I don't care what nobody say. If he don't do another thing for me, he is real. God exists. Let me tell you something. He exists. He exists. Don't give up. Turn back to God. Turn back to God. Turn back to God. Oh, hararabobashata. Turn back to God. Turn back to God. It took a lot for me to come on here and share this testimony. But I just felt in my heart that somebody needed to know. Somebody needed to hear. Like the Holy Spirit just kept unctioning me to get on here. And I'm very private, this guy. I'm very private. I didn't want to get on here and just open up like this. I'm off to myself. But I'm doing it, guys, because I know that this testimony will bless somebody. If it's nothing but one person, it's going to be a blessing. Somebody going to be delivered. Somebody going to be healed. Somebody going to be saved. Turn back to Jesus, guys. He is real. Have a blessed night.